your waist.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Doris Fish.
I get to Phoenix, he'll be rising. He'll read the note I left hanging on his door. He'll laugh when he reads the part that says I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be yeah, oh babe, I hate to go away, little girl. Don't stay a while, watch her hurry. Stay a while, watch her worry. Oh, honey, please, won't you stay a while with me who have nothing? Me who have no one. I adore you and want you so, a dear, a feeling dear, break a drop of golden sun. Yesterday my life was filled with rain. Oh, I was wet, sunny. You smiled at me and really eased my pain. Oh, I was hurt. My love was torn like wind-blown sand, and our rock was formed and we held hands. Sunny, one so true, I love you are the sunshine of my life, and I will always stay around. Oh, stay and stay and stay. You are the apple of my eye. I want you to meet my baby. When it all God didn't make little green apples, and it turned to rain in Indianapolis in the summertime. And then boom went those rockets from above, a supernova kiss. We simply fell in love. Let those love lights shine forever in this place. Another Vegas.
This other Vegas.
Forever Vegas. In Spain. Thank you all so much. Thank you for that warm hand on my opening. I missed you all terribly. I, of course, am Doris Poisson. Or to sum it up in 2 words, 2 glamorous little words, Doris Fish. Well, if there's anyone here who doesn't know that, perhaps you'd better leave. And Mr. Soundman, can you turn up the treble so I sound more like a woman? Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this stunning nightclub. I'm trying to say that like I really believe it. We do have a star-studded audience here, however. I believe that Nancy Sinatra is here somewhere, but I'm not going to embarrass her by making her stand up. I'm really thrilled to be here, ladies and gentlemen. It's a thrill for me, and I hope it will be for you too, because I know that many of you have come here expecting to see Doris Fish, actress, model, glamorous woman about town. And some of you may have sighed, oh no, not another tell-all one-woman show about some old burnt-out would-be has-been. But tonight, in a departure from my usual on-stage display of stunning glamour and witty repartee, I'm going to try to reveal to you a more personal and private aspect of me and my life. If the truth be known, beneath the glittering exterior and the mocking laughter resides a deeply shy and sensitive artist. Together, we will trace how the public persona and the shy, sensitive artist merge. That's what we're going to do here tonight. I was born in a little shack in the great Australian outback, miles from anywhere. My father was a jackaroo. That's an Australian sheep shearer, kind of like a cowboy. He'd be away for months at a time. Oh, he really loved those sheep. Mummy was a refined English woman. Mummy and I would spend the long hot summer afternoons while Daddy was away doing cultural things. I would paint with a lovely set of watercolours sent to me all the way from England by my grandmother Estelle, while Mummy would read to me from the classics. Dickens, Peter Pan, The Wind in the Willows, Moby Dick, that sort of thing. Now one thunderous afternoon, while Mummy was napping, after her usual 3 sherries with lunch, I wandered off on my own, along the bush track, down by the billabong. I passed the sleeping koala, the hopping kangaroos, and the shy platypuses. As I got close to the billabong's edge, I spied these dark Aboriginal children playing and laughing and staining their bodies with a beautiful crimson berry juice. Well, I'd never seen children before. I was just a little thing. I don't think they'd ever seen a white girl before either. They took my clothes off and began staining my lily white skin with this beautiful red berry juice in kind of a primitive smiley face pattern. I suppose you could say it was my first art happening. I ran to the water's edge to gaze at my transformed image. My lips were stained, my cheeks were smeared, I was transfixed. You know how good red looks on a blonde. After the longest time, I tore myself away and gathered up my clothes and ran home to show Mummy. Needless to say, she was not pleased. In fact, she was hysterical. Oh my God, look at you, what have you done? Who did this to you? Oh, I can't stand it. I told your father not to bring me to this uncouth wilderness, this untamed land. Is this the way you pervert your God-given talent? We can't stay here another day. We're going back to civilization. Your father must choose between his family and those sheep. And so we went back to civilization. In Sydney, I studied at an arts college run by the Sisters of the Good Samaritan. I was a quiet child. The trauma I had to endure thrust me into a dark closet. Mummy had destroyed my paintings, but I could never forget the intense revelation of that berry juice on my lips. The reflection in the billabong burned in the back of my brain. Despite my quiet nature, I was popular. I had many friends. Connie and the 2 Debbies were my best friends. Every day after school, we would run to the corner gas station and change into our miniskirts for the bus ride home. One day, one of the Debbies and I spied a box that was left on one of the seats. Inside were all these cosmetics. Maybelline, Max Factor, Elizabeth Arden, La Femme, Starlet. It was a complete kit. We ran home to Debbie's. Her mother was still at work. She immediately put some on and made me do it too. Truly Fair foundation, honey beige powder, cyclamen rouge. I had a natural face for contouring. Some beautiful forest green eyeshadow and just the barest hint of very black eyeliner. Oh, it wasn't a lot of makeup, but it did look great. And finally, the finishing touch. Billabong berry lipstick. I stared at myself in the mirror. The next thing I remember, Debbie was shaking me. Come on, Doris, what's the matter with you? You've got to get cleaned up. Haven't you ever put on makeup before? Come on, my mum will be home any minute. Well, I couldn't destroy the art I had created. I wore my new face out onto the street. I felt the power of my womanness as men stared and cars swerved. One car stopped. It was a white car. I was in pink and blue. I hesitated for a moment, but then I got in. I turned to see who the kindly gentleman was. Oh, it's Uncle Hans, Connie's father. Now, Hans ran a nightclub downtown called the Chat Noir, which is the Black Cat. He asked me, have you ever thought of going into show business? Sure, I said. and he pulled out a contract. Then he took me to the club, where he auditioned me. I got the job. Now I was living at this club, I could never go home anymore. I moved into a cozy little room behind Hans's office, and for the next several months I worked day and night, perfecting my craft, improving my art. And the other girls were a great help and inspiration to me, especially Jacqueline Hyde, who eventually left the club and started her own school of romantic cruelism. Hans was there every day, of course, encouraging me and telling me that I could do it, and I did. After 6 months, I was the lip-sync star of Sydney. Oh, it was painstaking but thrilling work. I did only the best works of Dusty, Lassie, and Diana. And the audiences were enthralled. One night, my concentration was destroyed by a man in the front row. His hands were on his beer, but his eyes were on me, piercing my costume, searing my flesh. I can't tell you how it felt. The womanness surged within me. Art was smothered by love. The next day, he asked me to marry him. His name was Tom, or Bill or something, I don't know. It turned out he was a merchant marine, and he was from Portland, which is where we were to live. So he packed me up on a big jet airliner, and off I flew to San Francisco to await my seaman husband. Only to find out that his ship was wrecked. Butch was drowned and I was left alone. I was bereft in a strange city, with no money and no contacts. One day, while I was out looking for work, I spied a poster advertising a talent hunt by a group of San Francisco artists known as the Tubes. Now, I believe it's common knowledge that I won. And I performed with the Tubes for 3 weeks at Bimbo's, and I was really, really popular. I was hot. Movie contracts and modeling assignments came my way. As a model, I met many famous celebrities, including the brand X heiress, Miss X. Thank you. That's what I was waiting for. No, she's really not bad at all. She's very nice for a lush. I also met the young lady after whom Cyril Magnon's dog was named, actress and model Tippy. We three formed a women's artistic collective known as Sluts A Go-Go. Later, this high art concept was turned into a stage show called Blonde Sin, my longest running hit. It was about this time that my first husband was miraculously rescued from the sea. Butch was alive and he wanted me back. I was torn. Would love triumph over art once again? I knew that art had to triumph or there would be nothing left of me. And it did. Never has a man come between me and my art again. Well, except for a few minutes now and then.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for. You may not be willing to admit it, but we all know here at KDKA-TV that you're not tuned in to see Dan Marino and Phil, whatever his name was, music. You're looking for Doris. Let's bring on Doris Fish, drag queen, and make her welcome to Pittsburgh today. Hi, John. No, it's not. Thank you. Thank you, Doris. I don't know what to say about you, dear.
Well, I won't say anything rude about you if you don't say anything rude about me.
Well, you know, someone has called this coat, they say it makes me look like a human baby rattle.
Is that the camera that's on?
That's it.
Thanks. Oh, it's this one now. Hi. Sorry, you were saying something?
That's well. Can we get a tight shot of those teeth?
Yes, these are real. They are painted, though, I will admit that.
Okay.
I use chip paint. And a little clean living, of course.
Of course. Let me ask you, let me start by saying how long it takes you to get this way.
Years of practice. But I suppose in a day it would take me at least 2 hours to get ready. That's if I know what I'm going to do, and I have a good idea of what I'm going to wear.
Yeah.
If I don't know what I'm going to wear, it takes days hunting through things, trying to decide.
Have you got a lot to choose from? I mean...
Oh, I have a room, not quite as big as this room, but I have a large room with racks hanging from the ceiling, boxes on the floor, wardrobes spewing forth beautiful costumes and gowns. Oh, just all over the place, wardrobes with shoes.
How many?
Shoes and arms. I've got about 200 or 300 pairs.
No kidding.
Well, I sometimes buy shoes because they're beautiful, just as a beautiful art object, and they're never really worn, they're just kept as a beautiful thing to have.
Yeah. Men's or women's?
Women's, of course. Why would I want to buy men's shoes?
Well, because you are a man. I mean, you do dress like a man, right? Sometimes. I mean, you didn't come to Pittsburgh on the plane looking like that, honey. Come on.
No, I was a little bit more conservatively dressed, I must admit.
Yeah.
You know, a nice flying outfit, slacks and a top.
Did you do
Well, the poor fellow who was coming to pick me up said, oh, I must have the wrong name. He looked at the name he was holding up and said, oh no, that's me, I'm just incognito right now. I can do a reasonably good impersonation of a man if I have to. You know, to get to the gym or something.
Yeah.
To go to the men's room, things like that.
Did you, which one do you go to now?
Well, it depends who's in there, I suppose. Seriously, it depends where you are. Sometimes at some clubs, you know, you can use either. But usually, if of course I'm in drag, I go to the women's room because they have better mirrors.
You didn't walk over here from the Hilton looking like this, did you? Did you come? There's another
I did look a little better then because I was a little younger.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Is that why you do it, Doris?
Yes, I'm afraid I do have a pathological need for attention. And I get it.
What did they say to you? What's the most outrageous comment you've ever gotten?
Oh my goodness, I don't think I can remember anything fabulously outrageous. Oh, I remember some little children on the street saying, are you a man? I just say, oh, not tonight, darling.
Okay, now let me get heavy for a second now, seriously.
All right.
You just mentioned children, and there are probably a few out there watching today, and will no doubt get some phone calls and some letters, etc., etc. My personal opinion of this whole thing is that it's an act. It doesn't threaten me. I don't think it threatens anyone here in the audience. It's kind of funny. It's something you look at, you laugh, and go, boy, isn't that guy different? But how do kids look at you? And what kind of example? We only asked Eddie Marino a minute ago. I mean, what does he think about as being an example for kids? It's important to him. Is it to you? Do you ever consider it?
Oh yes, certainly. I like to think that I've set a positive example to let children know if they want to be drag queens, it's a perfectly all right thing to be. Embarrassed to want to be something like that. This is what I've always wanted to be all my life. I've always wanted to be a famous movie star, and now I am. And you can have anything you want in life. I mean, people think that there are two sexes, male and female, and that's just a little too hard and sharp. Sexuality and gender is a little more fluid than that. And people do, all of us, run the gamut somewhere between 100% female and 100% male. And a lot of people, you know, 99% one or 99% the other. And there's some of us who are just sort of fiddling around here in the middle somewhere.
You're 50-50, you think?
Well, it depends. Some days I'm more like 60-40.
Okay, let's tell you what, you mentioned just a moment ago, I got so much more, but you mentioned a moment ago that you're a movie star.
Right.
Now that might be just a bit of an exaggeration, much like your makeup, Doris, but you have been in a movie. I don't know if it's been released
It
yet.
hasn't been released yet. It's still in post-production.
Okay, it's called Vegas in Space, starring Doris Fish. Let's look at a clip right now.
Now remember, we're show girls from Earth, so we don't miss our cues. All right, women, you know what to do.
Shut up,
I'll tell you, if I had a vote, I'd be nominating you for an Academy Award.
Yeah, so would I.
Break, we will be back with more Pittsburgh Today and Doris right after these messages. I know you're not going anywhere.
Wow.
What's your hometown? Oh, no.
Wasn't that fabulous? For Pittsburgh, even. Oh, you know, people sometimes criticize me for impersonating a woman. But I'm not trying to look like a woman, love. I am trying to look like a drag queen. No, it's not so bad. Some of my prettiest friends are drag queens. Now, I know that some persons of indeterminate gender don't like being called drag queen, but in my case, it is an apt moniker. Drag, of course, is clothing. For example, a particularly flamboyant gown which drags across the floor. And a queen is a female impersonator who is not trying to pass as a woman. Oh, and it's true. We drag queens do live such shamelessly fabulous lives, such richness and sophistication. Why is it, they say, when I'm on my way, the picture of charm and poise, just walking along, singing a song, when suddenly there comes a strange noise from the open window of a passing car, or the shadowy doorway of some dark bar. As if to be nasty and mean, drag queen, drag queen, drag queen. Why is it, they say, when I'm on my way to some sort of fashionable fling, could they be unaware that when I get there, I'll be the most feminine thing? Oh, can't they tell by my childbearing hips, or the sensuous curve of my soft red lips? To me, it is more than obscene. Drag queen, drag queen, drag queen. Can't they see that this body's a picture of femininity? When I see my reflection as I pass by a window, it's perfectly clear to me. I'm just one of God's special female-type creatures, just like the cow, or the deer, or the beaver. Oh, how could they be so green? Drag queen, drag queen, drag queen, drag queen, drag queen, drag queen. Thank you all a lot. You know, I was looking in the mirror this evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I used to think there were things wrong with my face, but you know, tonight I couldn't find any of those things. Isn't that funny? You know, I've been doing some of those self-esteem, self-love building exercises, and I guess it's working. You know, in the book, they tell you it's very difficult for most people to look right into the mirror and say, I love you. Well, I just went right on to the next chapter. I'm getting really good at the self-love, self-esteem thing. I'm going to be really wonderful soon. Oh, I'm sorry, you're not supposed to say that. You're supposed to say, I am wonderful now. I believe it. Speaking of legs, this is a pretty good pair, don't you think? Of course, the really good pair I'm keeping at home for photo sessions and things like that. You know what they say, the legs are the last to go. It's a pity about the face, but oh, I really can't say that with any conviction. You know, I wrote this part of the show before I put on any makeup, and now it doesn't make any sense at all. Well, I'm just going to check my makeup, ladies and gentlemen, to make sure you're all getting your money's worth. You all owe me another $1. No, seriously though, I am getting older, but I think I still look pretty good when I hold my face perfectly still. Of course, this doesn't work for you at the sides, and you're much too close. For those of you at the back, I look like a fucking goddess. And let's face it, that is my goal in life, isn't it? To be a fucking goddess? And last year I almost made it, didn't I? I mean, there I was, on TV all the time, my picture in the paper every week. Fame and fortune was just glittering right there in front of me. And I reached for it and poof, it all just went away. Is that all there is? Have I had my 15 minutes of fame? I know that's a rhetorical question, ladies and gentlemen, but you're all supposed to say, no, Doris, no. No. Last night's audience was much better. I mean, I thought by now I'd be finished playing toilets and root cellar / nightclub.
No.
I thought... Mom, I said you could come to the show. I mean, I thought by now I'd have a star on my dressing room door. But here at Theatre Rhinoceros, ladies and gentlemen, not even a door. So here I am, making yet another comeback. Yet another struggle to get out of this toilet circuit and into the world of TV commercials and soap operas, which I'm really looking forward to. Oh, you know, I do go on talking about myself. Well, because I am preoccupied with myself. I know it's a terrible thing to be, and I often say to myself, well, I sometimes say to myself, you know, Doris, why don't you stop thinking about yourself? I mean, try thinking about someone else for a change. You know, do a good deed or something. You know, work on your bad karma. And I get in this mood and I think, yes, that's it. I'll become a saint. And then God will reward me with younger looking skin. Recently I've been putting this theory into practice. Just last week I went downtown and I gave $1 to this stinking bum, and then I ran home to see if it made any difference. And as I stood there looking in the mirror, I began to think of that other living saint, Mother Teresa. And I thought, well, gosh, look what being a saint has done for her complexion. You know, the goddess does work in mysterious ways, doesn't she? So I guess it's just my destiny, my calling, to be just another vain woman seeking attention. So here I am, ladies and gentlemen, all dressed up for your personal enjoyment. Although I have been thinking of petitioning the Pope to be beatified. I mean, it wouldn't hurt, would it? Imagine if I were a saint. I could do endorsements for a Miracle Whip. And I could have a big part on Touched by an Angel, starring St. Doris Fish. I think it has a good ring to it. Well, obviously I'm not going to be a saint, as you probably guessed. If I were, I certainly wouldn't be down here with you lot now, would I? People sometimes ask me, Doris, how can I look like you? Can I someday achieve your level of stunning beauty? Well, first just let me say that there is no such thing as natural beauty. Mother Nature doesn't care what anything looks like, so long as something will eat it. And even so-called natural beauties are seldom seen without makeup, and when they are, they're hideous, just like everyone else. I mean, I've never told anyone this, but without makeup, I am not a beautiful woman. In fact, I was once so plain, I was mistaken for a man.
No.
Well, after that, I determined never again to be the innocent victim of my own flaws. I went straight to work turning myself into the perfect woman, and it filled me with a sense of power and control. By now I've changed myself so much, even my own mother wouldn't recognize me. And needless to say, I am thrilled with myself. Let me just say that the facade is the entire package. I mean, even if you think what's on the inside is more important, you still want to be popular with the guys. I mean, nature gives us this desire for popularity, but not always the means to achieve it. Thankfully, there is Revlon. And in more severe cases, Fredericks of Hollywood. Let's face it, Mother Nature may not have intended you to be breeding stock, but with a lot of makeup and a push-up bra, some farmer will think you're Venus. So my advice to you is to take a good hard look at yourself. Don't accept yourself as you are. Find as many flaws as you can, and change as many as you can. Go and find a picture of some impossibly beautiful woman who will serve as your role model. To simplify matters for you, I've chosen a picture of myself. Obviously, this is the end result of years of trickery, professional laughing, and tons of makeup. When people see the real me out on the street, they don't even recognize me. Not only am I a famous beauty, but I also enjoy the luxury of privacy. Without you on nobody, you won't have to worry about this. Now, paste my picture on the mirror and compare yourself with me. Obviously, I'm a professional beauty expert. You're just a shop assistant or office clerk, but don't put yourself down. Most famous beauties started out as dogs, so you're in good company. Now, back to our comparison. My hair is long, blonde, thick, and beautifully coiffed. Yours, I'm guessing, is somewhere between mouse and dull brown. My skin, smooth and velvety, with a perfectly even texture and a soft inner glow. Yours, oh, a few broken blood vessels, some red spots and pock marks, accented by a few scars. My mouth, full, rich, soft, and moist. And yours, oh, shapeless little things brought halfway across your face. I could go on, but I ask you, why bother? Just let me say that cosmetics, when judiciously applied, can enhance so-called natural beauty. And when artfully over-applied, a different kind of beauty emerges, and natural has nothing to do with it. This makeup is a mask, a disguise, and hopefully a work of art. It can turn you into a different person. I mean, the regular you can take a break for the evening, and the new you can be rude and steal husbands, or just be fabulously glamorous and enormously self-confident. Do let me remind you, however, to always be sure to use cruelty-free beauty products. You know, when I first heard of testing cosmetics on animals, I imagined kindly queens in lab coats putting little dogs in drag, painting their little toenails, you know, gluing lashes on their big brown eyes, somehow getting the lipstick to stay put. But now I know that there's nothing cute about the lives of laboratory animals. They lead lives of unmitigated horror. Yes, I have been accused of stridency in protesting the shocking treatment of our animal friends here on the planet. But I feel that when the social conscience of a rather frivolous and certifiably selfish woman like myself can be raised, well then, a true global awakening is indeed happening in this area. I mean, how would you feel if somebody ate your mother and then cured her skin to make pants and vests to wear to their bars and clubs and street fairs? Sorry, I couldn't resist. Of course, nobody could make a nice ensemble out of my mother Mildred, but you see what I mean. My motives are self-centered, of course. I wish to be adored by all in the animal kingdom, as well as all of mankind. My goal is to someday live as Elizabeth Taylor does, in the Sandpiper. I'll have a solar-powered makeup mirror. Just me and my breasts on a lovely beach somewhere, surrounded by cats and dogs and cows and pigs and chickens, and the occasional arty boyfriend dropping in. You know, I'm sure all animals love Liz. She has a strong connection to all creation. It's almost as if she herself was some sort of rare and exquisite wild animal, proving that we humans are just another species of animal. albeit the only one that kills for fun. Now, of course, animal rights has become my main concern, but I am a follower of all the New Age ideas. Although the only crystals I own are on my chandelier, and none of my past lives could ever be as glamorous as my present ones. But still, I really do believe in it all. Now, it is no secret that my health has deteriorated. Since I am a minor celebrity, I'm sure you're all just dying to have every aspect of my condition exposed, so you may as well hear it from the horse's mouth. I have a few popular problems, like KS and T cells of 75 on a good day. I also have a non-specific ulceration of the esophagus, which seems to defy all treatment. You know, a lot of people, when they hear the AIDS diagnosis, they say that's it. They say goodbye. But it's not really goodbye. I mean, however long I live, and I'm not going to live forever, I intend to make an incredible thing of these last times. I mean, any one of us could be knocked over by a car tomorrow, and I wouldn't have said goodbye to anybody. And even though you're dead, you still exist. I mean, we'll all meet again sometime, somewhere in the universe. So it's really just a passage from one existence to another. So, although I am ailing, I'm not planning to die right away. Of course, after a show like this, what can I do? I have to die or leave town. You know, I thought I should always wish to live in the spotlight, and I do love attention. But for now, I wish to shun that glare and concentrate on finding that inner glow to keep me warm. So this is goodbye for now, and it's hard for me to say because you've all been so sweet to me. I'll miss you. Tricks. Oh, no, darling, not you. If you'll just watch, ladies and gentlemen, here's a little trick I do on stage. Look at this. Flattens the stomach, but not the hair. Well, that was a test, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm happy to say that you all passed. That was a test to see just what sort of lowlife have slunk in here this evening looking for some sort of entertainment. I mean, that was the most horrible, embarrassing thing I could do, and you loved it. Well, now I'm going to confuse you even further by doing something really classy and tasteful. So talk amongst yourselves, because I have to perform a very important costume change before you right now. Oh, just a minute. I'm not properly dressed. Come in. Oh, hello, darling. How are you this evening? Thank you so much, my lovely little assistant. Where would I be without you? Now watch, this won't take a moment, ladies and gentlemen. It's a little bit of stage magic. Thank you. Watch the hair, my thing. Oh my God, the jewelry. Jewelry and hair, darling, are natural enemies. They should never be put in the same place together. Thank you so much, darling. Hand for my lovely assistant. I'm not really sure who she is, but she's really lovely. There's a lot of people milling around that. I'm sure they've all done something, or they're going to do something really fabulous. I don't know who they are. How do you like my outfit, ladies and gentlemen? I didn't make the fabric. All the fabric. Well, I'm going to do my big number now, so I suppose if I'm going to sing, I'd better get away from the microphone.
Honey, how lonely day. say. Funny how a breaking heart can make me stop to say, what good is mine?